Reddit. What collection did you have as a child that would have been worth a fortune now, had your parents not thrown it away? Not quite the same thing, but in 1997 I asked my parents to reinvest some money that was set aside for us by my grandfather, about $8,000 after tax, into Apple stock. They were correct to tell me no, but I never quite put the thought away. If they did and were smart enough that we kept it. Not counting reinvested dividends, we'd have 349,127 shares today. At the current share price, $98,453,865. How my life could be different if my parents threw sanity to the wind and listened to their middle school age son about what he learned in class. Edit. To everyone commenting, I agree, I definitely would have sold some or all of it by now. Also, if you want to learn about investing, shout out to our personal finance. Edit 2. Also, I'm aware now that Google apparently includes stock splits in price history, so $98 million is incorrect. I would still argue several $1 million is a pretty good return on $8,000. I remember when State Quarters first came out. My father sent me a collection of every first edition State Quarter, and one time I went to show my friends a while later and couldn't find them. I asked my mother and she said she had to use them for laundry. We were very poor at the time, so I understand. But I was a little sad by it as well because it was one of the only things my father ever sent me. Do you mean the first edition proofs that would have been worth much more than face value even way back then? My brother had a bunch of first edition Pokemon cards that he spent over a year collecting. Mom took them away for getting in trouble at school, and they were never seen again. I had the complete collection of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures. I packed them into a box and put them away, then later when looking for them I couldn't find them, asked my mother. Oh, those. I threw them out. You weren't playing with them anymore. First editions of the Chronicles of Narnia, signed by C.S. Lewis. About 40 Indian arrowheads collected on my grandparents' farm for years by myself and my grandfather, and full sets of baseball cards from 1969 to 1980. My mom decided to toss out all that junk when I moved out for military. Nearly all of the first 24 editions of virtually every Marvel series, from the Fantastic Four to Spider-Man, including the Amazing Tales in which he was introduced, to Iron Man, the Hulk, Thor, Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. Basically all of them. At a comic book store I was once looking at some collector's editions of those comics priced at about $1,500 to $2,400. I said to the clerk, "Man, I used to have all of these." The clerk, whom I'm sure was Matt Groening's model for Comic Book Man, without even looking up said in a bored voice, "Do you know how many times a day I hear that?" My mom had a collection of signed Beatles records that she threw away after she converted to Christianity. Because played backwards they summoned the devil or something. For years I was hoping to inherit it when I grew up. All I think it summoned was poverty. I met a lady who was a flight attendant on their first flight back to the UK from the US. They signed magazines for all the flight attendants. She had it appraised about 20 years ago and it was worth $10,000. She had it appraised about 20 years ago and it was worth $10,000.